Beth al Hikmah, the library that changed the world and was destroyed. Imagine a river turning black, not with mud, not darkness, but with ink, from thousands of books thrown into it. This isn't a legend, this is a history. The year is 1258 CE, and what was lost that night, the world still feels today. In the 8th century, the city of Baghdad stood as the intellectual capital of the world. For nearly 500 years, it attracted the brightest mind from across continent. This wasn't a city, it was a movement, and at the heart of the movement stood Beth el Hikmah, the House of Wisdom. The House of Wisdom was far more than a library. It was a global center for knowledge where scholars from different culture, religion, and background came together with a one shared purpose, the pursuit of knowledge. It functioned as a translation center, a research institution, and even an observatory. Scholars had access to Latin, Greek, Sanskrit, Persian, and Syriac. Fields like mathematics, medicine, astronomy, physics, and philosophy were studied, debated, and expanded here. Imagine a place where a Hindu mathematician, a Christian scholar, and a Muslim astronomer sat together, exchanging ideas and building knowledge. Not in the modern world, but in 8th century. The foundation of this institution began under Caliph Harun al-Rashid, but it reached its peak during the reign of his son, Caliph al-Mamun. Unlike most rulers of this time, al-Mamun actively engaged with scholars. He supported intellectual debate, funded research, and established some of the earliest astronomical observations in Baghdad. In many ways, this was one of the first organized system of state-sponsored research in history. Among the scholars who worked here were some of the greatest minds in the human history. Al-Khwarizmi, known as the father of algebra, developed mathematical concepts that still shape the modern world. Al-Kindi played a role in introducing Greek philosophy into Arabic thought. Al-Banu Musa brothers contributed groundbreaking work in mechanics and engineering. This was not just an institution, it was a galaxy of brilliant mind. During the Abbasid era, knowledge from across the world was being translated into Arabic and preserved. Ancient texts from Greece, India, Persia, and beyond were studied and explained upon. Algebra emerged here, advances in optics were made. The foundation of modern astronomy were laid here. Scholars even calculated the circumference of the earth with remarkable accuracy. Centuries before such achievement became common elsewhere. All of this was happening at the time when much of the Europe was going through what is often known as the Dark Age. And then came 1258. On January 29, Hulagu Khan and his Mongol army began the siege of Baghdad. Within days, the city's defense collapsed. The last Abbasid Caliph, Al Mutazim, attempted to negotiate, but his envoys were killed. Thousands surrendered were executed. On February 13, the Mongol forces entered Baghdad. What followed was a weak destruction. Mosques, hospital libraries, and palaces were burned or destroyed. The city that had once the center of the world's knowledge was reduced to ruins, and the House of Wisdom did not survive. Scholars were killed, books were thrown into Tigris River in such massive number that the water reportedly turned black with ink. Some accounts even say it turned red with blood. Perhaps both are true. In just 1 week, nearly 500 years of accumulated knowledge was lost, burned, and destroyed or washed away forever. Think what humanity lost in that moment. Discoveries that might have made centuries earlier were delayed. Medical knowledge that could have saved millions may have vanished. Books that could have shaped the future of science and philosophy were gone. The scale of this loss is often compared to the destruction of the Library of Alexandria, perhaps even greater. And yet, not everything was lost, because knowledge, once shared, cannot be completely destroyed. By that time, many of these works had already spread beyond Baghdad, into Persia, into Spain. The ideas had traveled, and ideas cannot be burned. Today, when we study algebra, when we explore astronomy, when we rely on medicine and science, we are in some way connected to that legacy. Whether we realize it or not, the influence of Beth el Hikmah still lives within the knowledge we use every day. The scholars who once worked under its roof are long gone, but their ideas survive because the pursuit of knowledge does not end with destruction, and knowledge never truly dies. If you want to see such research videos, stay connected to the channel.